Okay, so last week I had the pleasure of watching Angel's Egg in theaters. So this was the first, I believe, first time it's been released theatrically in the US. This would be like the 4K edition, and it's a movie that I'd seen before. I'd seen it twice. And I've mentioned before on this channel, I know I said in the Thursday video where I was like, dude, I got to watch Angel's Egg in theaters, that Angel's Egg is a film that I put in my holy trinity of anime films. Not just animated, but like specifically anime films, alongside Spirited Away, which is arguably my favorite movie ever, and Perfect Blue, which I would not go far as to say that about Perfect Blue, but I adore it. That's how much I like Angel's Egg. And it's one of those movies where I don't... How do I say this? It's the kind of movie where if someone described it to me, I wouldn't think I would like it nearly as much as I do. It's a very, very quiet film. There's not a lot of dialogue. I know I've heard the number somewhere, but like just how many lines are in it. It's something like 25, where it's like there's one total page of dialogue throughout the entire film. Most of it is in like one scene. Rewatching it, I kind of realized how little animation there is. Like, there's still animation going on, but a lot of it is still very still. It's like, here's like a shot of a landscape, but you'll see, the clouds moving. Or it's like, here's a shot of a landscape, but we're pulling out or we're pulling in. Or just, here's a close-up of someone's face. The wind's moving in their hair, but the rest of them is just motionless. There are still other moments of like people moving, but a lot of it is just still images. So there's times where it almost feels like you're watching a PowerPoint more than an animated film. And I won't lie, there were points during this recent watch where like I really noticed that. I would almost kind of start laughing, like in my head, not out loud. It's like, I'm not gonna try to say like anything, like make sounds like during this film. But there's points where I'm like, man, like there's just not a lot happening. I also don't care. Because I'm still so invested in what I'm watching, even though I have no idea what's happening. And a lot of it is just, it's just so mesmerizing. Like, it's a generally more muted color palette, but I think the architecture looks really cool. Just the scale of a lot of these areas, a lot of these shots, like when you actually see that last area. Okay, like not the last area, but like that really big, I don't know, like cathedral with like all the water bottles. I love looking at that, and like every time I see a water bottle, I'm like, man, is this really something she does every day? It's like every week, like damn, like you just keep seeing more and more as the place gets bigger. Like I love that. The people like ghost soldiers, I don't know, I guess that's what they are, like trying to hunt the shadow of a whale, but like they can never hit it or whatever. Like I don't know what that means. I could guess, but I just think it's so interesting to witness. I think I have to talk about what I think the movie's about, but I'll be honest, like I don't know. I'll say this. I feel like I know what the movie is about thematically, and I really like that. In terms of what's literally happening, I can spitball a lot of things. Like, I don't want to be like, I'll just make something up. It's like, this is, I guess, what I think, but I don't feel particularly confident in my interpretation because there's a lot of gray areas, and also I don't care as much, and I normally would, but I think it's just because of how gorgeous the art is and how strong I think it is thematically, that genuinely I don't care about the plot as much. But from what I can gather, and full spoilers, which is mostly just like spoiling the last like 10 minutes or so, because it can't really spoil a movie where not a lot happens. So the entire film is taking place on a capsized boat that is slowly sinking. And there is a lot of allusions to the Bible. Like, you know, the dude walking around, he's like carrying a cross, but specifically to the story of Noah. You know, like there's a lot of like water. You see a lot of water, like a lot of water flowing. It's, you know, like the rain and shit. They talk about the dove. They talk about how God wanted to destroy all life on earth. He's like, this is not what I wanted humanity to be. Like, I'm so angry and all that. So, my best theory is that the dude is supposed to be Noah himself. And Noah is tasked, I guess, with finishing off and eliminating the rest of the human race, and the girl is the last other human. Because I've wondered about it. It's like, it's called Angel's Egg. Who is the angel? Is it the girl? Is it the dude? Is it both of them? Or is it just the thing in the egg? Like, it's not that this egg is owned by Angel, or this egg is, like, it's Angel's job to take care of, like, to destroy the egg. It's, no, this is just the egg with an angel in it. I don't know. But sure, we'll kind of go with that. Because what the man is, like, saying when he's talking to the girl is, like, I need to know what's in this egg. You need to tell me. She's like, I'm not going to tell you. I don't know. And then tells him, like, shows him the, like, picture, or excuse me, shows him, like, the fossil, like, the skeleton of this giant bird angel thing. And he's like, oh, okay, like, I got to destroy this now. But when he's quoting the Bible, he talks about, like, Noah and the dove, and, like, how the dove didn't come back. And the way it was, like, said almost sounded like it's been bothering me for so long that it didn't come back. And I don't know if it's because it found something that I'm supposed to find and take care of, if it's because it drowned, if it's because it just died. Like, I don't have my closure. That's almost how it felt. Almost like a God won't let me die until I finish my job. Apparently building the ark was not the only thing I was supposed to do here. And then when the girl dies, then you see her on, like, that big spaceship thing with all the other stones. So, like, maybe this is a human who died, and now she can go to heaven. But then that's also, wait, but if God wanted to destroy all humanity because he hated them, then why are some of them still going to heaven? Like I said, I don't know. There's a lot of room for interpretation, even in my, like, this is what I think happened. I very clearly don't really. But let me talk about what this is thematically, because that one I feel a lot more comfortable, like, really talking about. This is a film about loneliness, trust, and betrayal. Throughout the film, because these characters don't have names, so I'll mostly just be calling them, like, the girl and, like, the guy or the man. Occasionally I might call him Archer, because he looks a bit like Archer from Fate. But the girl is carrying this egg, and the man wants to know what's inside of it. Anytime she, like, early on, when she first sees him, she just, like, takes her egg back, runs off. Does not say a word. There's other times where she sees him and she's very clearly nervous. There's this one bit that I think kind of perfectly encapsulates the theme of the film, where the two of them are walking and she's like, yeah, don't follow me, but he's always just still following behind. He's not saying anything. And there's a point where it's raining and she turns back and he just, like, holds up his coat, like, all right, like, do you want to come under the coat? Like, you can get out of the rain. She just stares at him, and no, like, I think she actively, like, runs off again. But then, when some, like, other people show up, she immediately just goes under his coat, and he doesn't say anything. I almost think he, like, kind of smiles at her, but she goes under the coat, doesn't say anything, and then partway through, like, realizes what she's doing and that, like, she's under his coat, and almost seems like scared of the fact that I'm letting my guard down, but also realizes I've let my guard down, but nothing's happening. I'm not being hurt. He's not taking the egg. I'm safe here. And then after that, her demeanor kind of starts to change. Like, I know it's like she'll still like run ahead and just kind of look at him and then keep going. And sometimes she'll still do a like, hey, don't follow me, or like a, who are you? But it felt different. You know, it reminded me a lot of my cat. Because what Bahamut will do a lot is like he'll see me and then he'll like just like run like super fast. But then he'll kind of wait to be like, I mean, Dad, you coming? Like, I mean, that's what we're supposed to do now. Like, you're supposed to chase me. Like, we're having fun. And like early on, it very much seems like I'm scared of you. I don't know what's going to happen. And then it's, I like being around you. I feel safe around you. I need to make sure that you're still going to follow me and you're still going to be with me. And then, you know, she lets her guard down even further, lets him into her temple, like the big like sanctuary home thing, shows him like the fossil, tells him what's in the egg, and even lets him in the room while she sleeps. My favorite moment in this movie, because whenever I think of Angel's Egg, it's the first thing I think of, is that really long shot of her on the bed with the egg and him just him sitting at the base of the bed, just looking forward. And the only thing letting you know that this is not a still image is, number one, there's one point where she like turns over, but then it keeps going for a long point after. It's the flickering of the fire. And then eventually the fire goes out. And then he gets up, grabs the egg, and you don't even see what's inside it when he shatters it. And then he just gets up and leaves. Like, he doesn't say anything to her. He doesn't wake her up. He just does his business, and he leaves. And then she wakes up and sees that he's gone and that her egg is shattered. And then she looks at it. And it's like, it doesn't register for a moment. And then she starts crying and she screams and it's quiet. And then it cuts to like outside the room and then you hear her wailing. Like, memes aside, as genuinely like incredible cinema. Like, I love that so much. But to me, it's like that, all of that is what this film is about. It is about how, for whatever reason, it can sometimes be really hard to trust other people. Either because you've been hurt in the past and you don't want to open up again, or because you just don't want to be hurt at all. Maybe you have an egg. It's some kind of secret that you don't want anyone else to know. Maybe it's some kind of idea that you have that you don't want someone to steal from you. Maybe it is just your own sense of innocence. Maybe it's that sense of potential. And you're trying to keep that to yourself and for yourself. And when other people show up, you immediately assume they have the worst of intentions. But as time goes on, you start to enjoy and appreciate their company, because it's really lonely not having anyone, just having yourself and your egg. And you want to let people in. You want to feel comfortable and safe. And when they don't hurt you, even when they can, when they don't leave you, even though they should, it becomes easier to trust them. But sometimes your first instinct was right. And when you do let your guard down and you let someone in and you are vulnerable around them, sometimes you get shattered. And sometimes there's no going back from that. And to me, that is what Angel's Egg is about. From what I understand, is it Mamoru Oshii, I believe is the director of the film, is that he was going through depression at the time when he wrote and directed it. And the film is more of just, I don't know if I want to say venting necessarily, but just kind of a way of expressing his emotions and just kind of getting them out. And if that's the case, I think it definitely works and makes sense. Something I've also heard is that he's kind of said, I don't super know, what the film is about. It's just, it is just kind of that expression of emotions. So, I don't have an answer. And, yeah, I can believe that, too. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I can believe that you don't know what this thing is about. It's I can believe that it was just more emotional storytelling than anything else. And I think it does that incredibly well. And rewatching it, watching it thrice, I think that is why nothing else in the film really bothers me. Because the emotional storytelling and the emotional core of this movie, I think is conveyed so well. And it's something that does kind of get me. That I don't need the story to be really super spelled out, because it's not about that. It's about this. And this was done perfectly. And even those parts where I'll kind of laugh there's not a lot of movement in this movie. It's just very still. Really fits with that lonely atmosphere, and it makes the world feel the fact that the world is so big and so empty, again, really help with that feeling of loneliness, but also just makes everything feel kind of oppressive in its own way, it's suffocating. It just kind of all works. Excuse me. If I'm being 100% honest, if I sat down and wrote down what is every anime film that I have watched, every Ghibli movie, Cone film, Oshii film, what's the other guy's name? Hosoda film, Yuasa, which I'm definitely behind on, Yuasa. I've seen 2 Shinkai films and 1 short film, and, well, one of the Shinkai films I really don't like. But if I made that full list, maybe Angel's Egg would not be in my final 3. Maybe it would actually get beat out by Whisper of the Heart or Laputa. I don't think Summer Wars, but I do love me some Summer Wars. Maybe Wolf Children, I don't know. I do love The Night is Short. Oh my gosh, Night is Short, Walk On Girl is such an awesome movie. But my point is, as much as I said it's in my holy trinity of anime films, it is in my big trilogy of anime films, maybe it's technically not. But that weirdly kind of fits with the movie. It's okay, is it literally? I don't know. I kind of don't really care. The plot, I don't literally know what's happening, and I don't care. But that's how I feel. That feels right. And watching the movie, I feel I don't understand it necessarily, but I feel it. And in a meta way, I think that's kind of neat. And I will also say, just to end this on a more kind of goofy note, the night after, or maybe it was 2 nights after, but I believe it was the night after, I watched Return to Oz, which was awesome. And part of the climax of Return to Oz involves an egg, with the main villain being a chicken, but those lay eggs, and eggs are poison to gnomes. I'm I wasn't expecting to watch 2 films in a row where the ending was like heavily revolved around an egg. That was unexpected. And then playing Kirby Air Riders, one of the pieces of headgear could be like a broken eggshell. And I'm like, you know, I wasn't expecting this ding egg to be a recurring motif for the next few days. But okay, welcome broken eggshell wearing marks. But yeah, that's it. I guess I'll just say, like, I hope you've seen Angel's Egg. Like, I hope you go out and watch it. It's only like 70 minutes. It's very short. If you have seen it, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. I mean, I think that's basically it. Take care.